wow. Welcome one, welcome all. Oh my gosh. We're back at it. Wow. 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 Real. Um, the fuck do I don't even know what email on my Twitch account is with. Shit. My phone number has it. Maybe. Oh no, I'm not joining. I have an account. Surely my password was this. Oh, oh man, oh man, oh me, oh man. Probably this. 6. Wow, wow, wow. And I can type. Oh my God. Chris, oh my God. What is up? My brother, oh my God, it's been so damn long. Well, hello. Sorry for my scuffed. Yes, yes, yes. Whoa. Oh my God. Wow. I had I didn't have a microphone on my sources apparently. I don't know. Anyways, um wow. Big league things are going on. Okay, well, welcome. Uh Let me update this damn document title. We're gonna say I am world building today. Uh and we are world building um well, I guess something that I've been doing for a long time and I need to get it into paper. So, um, hello, how are you? It's been so long. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm like two viewers. Oh my God, I'm raking in viewers right now. This is crazy. I'm like popular. Wow. Okay, well, let me get some things going. Um, yeah, I'm gonna listen to some different music. Again, I have a scuffed setup, so I gotta like I'm listening to music on my phone, just one earbud underneath my headphones because I'm fucking retarded and it didn't feel like setting up anything. Um, go with let's start as fair playlist. That's a good one. Get in the mood. All right, we are world building today, uh, and continuing in the tradition and strand of all of the D&D bullshittery. I got my start. We're not doing my Nascondary horse shit because that is sorry. I don't know if I have a player here today, but we are not continuing that because that is a D&D campaign on hiatus. But instead, we will be writing um, sort of the scaffolding for a real literature. Um, call it a real literature fucking rendition of this nonsense. Now, guess I'm gonna share a lot of creative influences. I'm like, where am I looking? Where's my camera? I don't even know where it's at. It's over here. Me sharing a lot of creative influences, wordplay. Good. I'm glad. Oh my gosh. This is my chill. Uh, okay. I won't. Okay. I swear I'm not gonna play any crazy audio or anything like that. I'm not trying to get my my stream demonetized or whatever the hell. I think I've done it before and it like cut my audio out or something in the past when I used to stream, so I'm not like trying to do that. So they're like, you're streaming third-party music, so I'm not streaming any noises or anything. So, um, I'm glad that my voice is chill beats and lo-fi radio. Though, I mean, I feel like I got a pretty good broadcaster voice, you know, pretty quiet, chill, low key. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that, I swear. That's funny. No, we're just gonna be writing and maybe the only reason I had started to stream it was because I thought, well, you know, maybe some random viewer will chime in and give me some crazy ass idea that I need to unlock all of it. Um, so Chris, you might actually be familiar with a lot. Granted, it was years ago, but some of this stuff gonna ring a bell big time. It's basically trying to, like I said, adapt a lot of the D&D material to real literature. Now, I already have a shit ton of ideas in mind, but already got a lot of the basis for it, but I haven't yes fleshed it out in its proper form yet. So um anyways, so I wonder what happens when I do this. It's gonna pull up my. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, that's good. Now you're not gonna see my crazy charts. Oh the immediate folder that opened up on my thing was this stupid diagrams I made. This crazy ass bullshit. Um, this awesomeness. Um, weren't this it's not going to be a thing. I just want to upload the map that I should have a picture of on this computer now at this point. Um, okay, thank you. You know, I don't even care if I dox myself. What's someone gonna do? Find me. Go ahead. Pull up. I'm joking, please. Don't. But what do you call it? I'm going to get trying to get a map going, but maybe this isn't the best like format to world building in Google Docs, but I mean it's the best shit I got, so I'm like, whatever, dog. So let's see here. I should have an image of the map now. I'll kind of, yeah, I can do this. What happens when I open an image? Where is it going to project? Up, it's a picture of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, okay, there it is. Anyways, there's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, rest in peace, the San Antonio Spurs. Low-key deserve to lose, but that's not my problem. We're always rooting for the Lakeys. But okay, so now I can pull up an image and just kind of drag it across and show you how this is great. Okay, where is um Aeron map? I don't know. I'm gonna have to just send it to myself. I'm through Discord. I know my Discord's gonna pop up. I hope on the other screen. Yeah. Okay. Not leaking my DMs. My risque DMs with nobody. Oh my god. Um, let's see. What do we got here? Downloads, maybe? Yeah. change to that's fine. Okay. Should have an image now. Show you. So this is the current map that I'm using, and it's kind of loose leaf. I was drawing it, but I haven't finished it clearly. And I wonder if I open another image, is it going to? Okay, there we go. Perfect. I was hoping it wouldn't reload over it. So this is my world that I'm kind of, playing around in. And so over here, there's Rohirrim. Everyone loves Rohirrim, the great place where Wakua and all the Yaren are from, right? Um, there's old Rohirrim, and I just kind of fucked with it a lot until I kind of made it a cool place. Um, Over here, there's Azuma, so our great, just kind of flipped it around, I guess. Maybe moved some of the cities around, I guess, or changed the names, like Kurogane I moved over here, and Imakage I could put here, change the name of it. And, that's that. Let's see. And then down here is going to be Saran. So, if you can't tell, this is heavily inspired by China. Boom, we can see. Wow, look at that. Look how good I did. I did pretty good, I thought. You know? But another big influence was Lord of the Rings. So, Mordor and Rune is what we'll talk about a lot. Even though this is in the east, in my west, we have this same kind of shield of mountains, Lonely Mountain volcano, right? Like Mount Doom. And so this is kind of the Badlands, so to speak. Forest and wetlands, the good plains and big old lake and all yada yada. So the big canyon and two mountain ranges, which makes this almost impassable to get to. So this is where the fun Yaren people live. And that's the general gist of it. I was trying to name names and name people and places and stuff like that. Just kind of get a bank of names. These are some of the Nazcondary cities that I just kind of imported to be like, I don't know, flavor. Not really places where people are going to go to narratively, but what do you call it? They're going to be oh, there was a sorcerer from Emmerite, just kind of folkloric lore, the world. Inaccessible because they got, I don't know, some Bermuda diamond nonsense, Bermuda Triangle, Bermuda diamond nonsense going on here. Um, and there'll probably be like a big cloud walls or something that I don't feel like making multiple continents. This is all you get. So maybe there's stuff beyond, but not worried about that right now. I have way too many problems with this as is. So, I wonder if I could just like paste that somewhere. Oh, not done that. Okay. Oh my God. This is complicated. What did I do here? All right, hold on. I shit. Hold on. Scuff stream setup. There we go. Should get like hone in on a section and be like, ain't gonna work. Sorry. Maybe later I'll put this image. You know what? Maybe I can put it up on my stream somewhere. Hold on. As a kind of source image. Um, I know I can. I just haven't thought about doing it, but I just map browse. There we go. Perfect. I move that around probably, but right now we can kind of see the map. And maybe we can that's a fucking mess. Change the way this filters. Um, let's see. Screen. That don't work. Comprehensible. That's pretty good. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Now I can just kind of be writing over the top of it, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, awesome. So, let's fuck with that somewhat. Oh, wait, people can see it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Put it off over here, you know. That way, it's not in the way of all my typing doesn't get in the way. Okay. So, Diet Coke sponsor me. um, let's see here. Need to kind of set up the different countries, so we'll kind of list them. Get a good font. I really like EB Garamond. Does anyone can people in the chat rectify me? EB Garamond is a great font, all time. I don't like, is it serif fonts that have, no accents or no whatever? I don't know the difference off the top of my head between sans serif and serif fonts. Whatever ones with, like this type of shit, those little lines around and everything. Okay, so we're gonna have row caps row hieron is a country that is the let's make that, I don't know, heading 1. Boom. Okay. Update. There we go. Okay. Then we got Azuma, and then we're gonna have Saran. All right. Serif has lines. Yeah. Okay. So it's serif fonts that I like. I don't really like sans serif. That's right. You're right. Sans is without. I'm retarded. Okay. I should have known that. I feel stupid now. But I personally prefer serif fonts. I don't know, just have that old timey feel, and give me that um, bookishness. Now, another thing I wanted to showcase, because remember I had talked about China being big influence. Boom, look, there's a map of China. You can see it physically. What did I just do? There we go. See China being a visual influence, clearly. Right, boom. In the shape, some of the borders of these. There's I'm trying to point my finger. The Aakuma and Mushin and cities like that where you see this right here, these peninsulas. Even, but a big inspiration for me, literature-wise, is The Three Kingdoms, which is a Chinese kind of novel. Non-fiction, pseudo-fiction, romance of Three Kingdoms, pseudo non-fiction, describing the warring states between Wei, Wu, and Shuhan, right? And my map is supposed to sort of emulate this, the Shuhan westerly nomadic region, maybe a bit more like this. I put Wei in the south, the imperialists, and the Saranians, and Wu, the Riverlands, which is kind of that elven Akuma Mushin and all yada 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 yada. So, we'll kind of briefly list what kind of the countries are about, and we'll try to kind of go crazy with it. Um, Rohirrim is the red. Put it in like a little. That's fine. Fine. Rohirrim is the red desert wastes, blocked in by clocked. Locked in. How did I say clocked? Blocked in by mountains on the guess the south, the east, and north. I'm gonna call it a Mordor mountain shield. I can't I realize you're gonna see there you go. You see a bit more of the actual text I'm writing. There you go. Like that. Okay. Now this fucking map's in the fucking way. There's no winning. Sure, why not? Okay. Wow. Alright, so now you can see everything alright. So this is characterized by extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme everything, basically. Just kind of writing a general gist of the places so we get the idea. The bullet points. Okay. Ruled by the tribunal. So there's the commandant, who is presented as the body of Rohirrim, ruled by the tribunal. 3 my god rulers. Okay, so we have the commandant, the Baumeister, who I do have a name for. This is Mind. And then we have the apt, or the soul. Okay, so we're going to talk about colors. So the Baumeister is synonymous with the color red. Synonymous with the color blue. And the soul, the color green. Okay. RBG, RGB, whatever, you know. Fine. Alright, whatever. And actually I have a diagram for them, but I'm not gonna insert it. that. And so the Baumeister is named. Let's see, what is he named? Let me insert a character, so I'm like, how do I do? Alright, so we got Varun. Did I spell it? I could probably do it like that. I forgot. How did I write it on my phone? Let me go to my notes app. Hold on. That's right. It just looks kind of weird. Okay. So Varun is the Baumeister. I don't really have a name for the other two, so we're probably gonna come up with that eventually. But now I can probably show you, peel back a bit the curtain of mythic symbolism and wordplay, because we're going to be doing that a lot, probably to find names and concepts and ideas. So, for instance, um, Wakua is a central figure, but is sort of the, I don't know. I don't want to say revolutionary, but it kind of is. He's like the, I don't even want to say protagonist either, but he's probably going to be like a rebel figure opposed to the tribunal order. Okay, and then so how do we get Wakua? So Wakua structurally, finds us so we got Wakua Khan. Sorry, I'm gonna have to insert symbols. Not emojis. Characters. What? Alright, hold on. Where is this? Dog, do they not have this symbol in here? Like, fake as fuck. The closest I'm gonna get to, but it's not right. Done. To just gonna copy paste from something else and hopefully it'll fill it all in. So we got Wakuakan, Kahagan, Rohieron, right? Should all be lowercase too. Hello? There we go. Has my audio been out for a long time? Just realized it might be. Oopsie daisy. Don't know how long I've been talking with it. My headphones may be dead. I think that's how it's happening. But to kind of go over it basically again, Wakua, he's a central figure. We talked about his mythic influences, some wordplay. Wakua Khan, Kahagan Rohirran, Wakan Wukong Waking, Kahagan Jahannam, Hagala's Away Awaking, Witching, Awoken, Wakanjanan Spoken, Kahagan being a elongated Kagan, or Khan of Khans, phonetically sounds similar to Tahatan, which is a D&D neologism. Hagalaz, which is the hail rune or tumultuous change, and Wakan being the great mystery in Lakota Sioux spiritual belief. So up here we had Varun, which is this Avon peacock figure who's the Bowmeister, this colonial ruler of Rohirrim. He's a peacock, ibis, thoth figure. Mallard duck, he's vain, contemptuous, right? We talked about that. Which his mythic influences be Varuna, which is the Vedic Hindu god of waters and the ocean. Farron is a D&D, right? Character, Varun, Farron, right? Kind of sounds very similar. Rune, the Easterlands of, Rune, which is in Middle Earth, or the Blue Wizards, right? Notice he's kind of blue peacock, right? He's kind of like a blue wizard, right? Uh, and Alrune, which is the dragon of the Western Sea in Chinese mythology, and Ao Guang, who is the dragon of the Eastern Sea, who the Monkey King steals his legendary staff from. Remember what I said? Waku was like Wukong. Waku, Wakan, Wukong, right? These phonetic links kind of just happen to be there. So, um, that's that. Yaren are the people, the name of the race that lives in Rohirrim, the Westerlands. I'm right, the Westerlands. Oh, I like that to give people the idea where it is on the map. Okay, and the Yaren in Chinese folklore are akin to Bigfoot. They're wild men or green men, right? But I have them more like boars, bears, ape men. So they are kind of the orcs or Uruks of the setting, right? Which makes sense why they're in the kind of Mordor coded, right, country, but it's in the west, not the east, which is why we have the Dragon of the West, who's going to have the legendary weapon that Wakua can get instead of the Dragon of the East. But it's just kind of a play. It's not a one-to-one. We're not just repeating Chinese mythology one-to-one. We're just kind of drawing influences, right? So now that we're all caught back up again, I can kind of continue um, and talk about this is and Rohirrim or okay, and you know what? We can even do this with Rohirrim as well. So watch this. So Rohirrim or Rohi Yaron, right? That's kind of how you pronounce it. I can't write the actual IPA of it or whatever the fuck you call it. We have always called it Rohirrim in D&D, but it's technically Rohirrim. which, think about it, kind of sounds like Rohirrim, right? The people who live there. Rohirrim. Maybe Rohi's a term for land. Land of the Yaren, right? Rohirrim. Rohirrim. It also sounds like Rohirrim. Makes us think of Rohan, right? And Rune as well. Boom. So now you can kind of see with these mythic influences in terms of the name structure of the place. Rohirrim is Rohirrim. It's also Rohirrim, the people. Rohirrim, Rohan, or Rune, right? So that's kind of the mythic, where the mythic kind of name comes from. Let's insert a little, horizontal line there. There we go. Boom. Okay. I like it. We're doing good so far. This is looking good. Okay, so, and I'll probably have to format this a lot better in the future, but that's not my problem right now. Let's not talk about Rohirrim because this is a pretty much more concrete place. But we can maybe talk about a location there. There's maybe another mythic place that we can kind of talk about. Mount Mortel. Right. This is the central mountain of Rohirrim, which it's actually a volcano. So we'll say central mountain in parentheses. It's a volcano in Rohirrim. So now it evokes Mount Doom. Right, Mount Doom is the volcano of Sauron, right? In Mordor. This is a land already affiliated with Mordor. Uh, Legend of Zelda, Death Mountain, right? I think is it called Death Mountain in Legend of Zelda, where the Gorons live? Yeah, it is. It is. So Mount Mortel means mortar, right? But it sounds like mortal, right? What's something that is mortal is affected by death, right? So it has that kind of doomishness to it, embedded in the name mortal. Sounds like Mount Mortal, but it's actually Mount Mortar technically. In German, I think Mortel in German is mortar, right? And so that's kind of the holy mountain in the middle of Rohirrim, and is the place where the commandant. Okay. umlaut. Is that called an umlaut? You have the two O's, dots over the O? I think so. I'm gonna need to listen to some different music. Listen to some Von Vissem and Jim Jarmusch, my goats. Gone for 51 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, so let's go to these other countries. I don't feel like talking about Rohirrim. Rohirrim is a um, pretty set in stone object. I know a lot of stuff about Rohirrim. It's probably my most fleshed out setting out of all these. And you see in Ozma, you have the town names, but and maybe they have some people ideas. But this has a lot of concepts and a lot of wordplay going into it. And it's pretty set in stone. Like, I'm not going to change the name of Varun. I'm not going to change Mount Mortel or Yaren or Rohirrim. These other places can be subject to change. So let's just generally talk about the other ones. So Ozma, like the Riverlands, Forest Lands, uh, kind of gives off this shogunate feel, uh, Imperial Japan vibes, maybe Eastern Coast. How would you say mercantile family clans, yada yada yada, right? Got that. All right, be quiet for a second. Other than that, I don't really have a good solid base right. Got Lord and at Mortal Games playing their game. Gator. Choose their heroes and their noble houses. and pit them against each other. The Trojan War, right? They notably take sides. Um, Fired as a pseudo. Wow. And these are just inspirations, not saying they're a Teutonic Germanic state, but it's the vibes we're giving off. So just go over. Oh my god. Names and places. So again, I don't have as much fleshed out mythically or poetically. This kind of wordplay as I do in Rohirrim. But I do have names and places and slash people that could be of importance. And that can help us maybe figure out do later, right? So for instance, bulleted list, we can do the Morhier family. So we can have a Ludwig Morhier, this Louis Moreau D&D lore. Ludwig Morhier. Why do we do Morhier? Because there's Morrigan Morhier. Just felt weird to have a Moreau family, a Morhier family, right? Why not just conjoin them into the same home? Give them the same origins. So, and then Morgan Morhier was a character Sam played once upon a time in our, you know, indie game a long time ago. And then there was this Cecilia Morhier, but I probably will rename her Cecilia Morhier. I just don't like the way that flows. So this is a tentative name. Okay. There's, let's see, the Carpathian family. The Carpathia family. The house. Fuck it. I think Ludwig or Louis' character is going to be in Rohirrim in the narrative to kind of satisfy that he joins, starts the Yaren uprising, rides that wave and tide of terror. Probably doesn't go well as it went in actual D&D lore, but it's because we're not rehashing D&D lore. We are just remaking it into a narrative event. That makes sense. So, the house. Ludwig Morgan. I like Morgan more here. That's got a great alliteration, you know? Morgan more here. That's pretty good. Sam was cooking on that one. Uh, the Carpathian household. So we have Viscardus Carpathia. Viscard, that's a notable character that I played. You know what? We can even have you know what, Chris? I'm gonna throw you a bone. Why can't we have a Peebus Carpath? Why can't we just throw him in the same family, huh? I don't even know what his last name was. Did he even have one? Maybe we should rename. Maybe his name shouldn't be Peebus. You know, something like that. Is that even a name? I don't know. It's Dog, I looked up on my phone Peebus name. And I hate to use AI overview, but it's just so funny because it says Peebus is an extremely rare name, most commonly used as a playful nickname or term of endearment for pets. I'm dead, dude. I can't. Often inspired by original names, as such as Phoebe Phobos, so that's pretty good, or peanut butter. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. He was a bit of pet, wasn't he? He kind of was. But you know what? Look, so we got Peebus, right? But it said it's often derivative of, what do you call it? Like peanut butter, or the name Phoebus, right? So, for instance, I'll just put it in italics. Phobos or Phob. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think they're generally like someone who's associated with Apollo. I remember. I don't know if that's actually his name or another like term for Apollo, or if it was someone loosely associated with in Greek myth. I'm gonna look it up. Derived from Greek word phobos, such as the radiant one or bright one. Epithet for Apollo, Phoebus. Phoebus. I think it's Phoebus. Or Phoebe, because Phoebe is right. It's like the feminine form, like Phoebe. So what if we have it like spelled a little bit like Phoebus instead of Peebus, because Peebus is a little ridiculous. But if you put Phoebus, you put it makes him kind of have some mythic, you know, you have some mythic backbone now. Now you're some bright, radiant. I like that. That's pretty good. We're keeping that. All right. You're joining the Carpathian household. You can Viscardus, Phaebus kind of fits that. Maybe we can have Viscardus instead. Or what I prefer, it should be Phaebus. Keep the same like is or us ending. Scardius. Fabius. Phoebus. Okay. I like putting the PEHE first because this makes me think of like, because it's closer to like Phoebus, right? Having the E's near the front instead of the O first. The actual Greek. Phoebus. Let's just do that. Fuck it. Why not? Phoebus. Viscardus. Phoebus. Close enough. Oh no, man. I think there was a Lucian and Lucia, Carpathia, and D&D lore. Just throw their names around, why not? Um, why not? There's another one too. I played some stupid ass Carpathian character. I don't remember what their name was. That stupid Death Pope in the Osmond game. I don't remember what that fucking name. I was sitting in a corporate America with a bitch, and I was like with Peebas. Absolute cinema. That's awesome. I love that for you. Hey man, sometimes you come up with great things just unintentionally, and I think that's pretty awesome that it's Peebus and it kind of has a mythic kind of illusion. Like for instance, I didn't come up with Wakua thinking that I could, that Wakan sounds like a truncated version of Wakua, Wakan, or that sounds like Wukong. I didn't do that. I just was like, I want my guy's name to be Wakua. So, hey man, you can kind of very fascinated with linguistics, I think now, and uh, wordplay now, more so than ever. You can have a It would make sense that Phaebus also has Phoebe Carpet, right? But I'm not gonna go that far because that's the twins, right? Like Artemis and Apollo. So if you're an Apollonian figure, then we should have a Artemisian figure to match. Perhaps there'll be someone's middle name or something, I don't know. Anyways, this is pretty good. So there's those people. We can have. I wanted to use the demigod Justinian. Love uh, name Justinian. It's just such a good name. Kind of fits that Teutonic kind of order, right? Because Justinian is the ruler of the Byzantine, uh, a ruler of the Byzantine Empire historically. Put his little title here. That Sam gave him, the Hierophant Justinian. We can also have another demigod. We can have Laris is supposed to be the demigod of Sauron, like the big bad. I never really quite liked his name so much. Because Laris is like a bird. It's like a gull. Like a Laris is like a seagull. I think, technically. AI viewers, shut up. I don't know who you are. I'm about to delete your damn comment. Deleted. Thought you come up with something normal, buddy. I'm sorry. If you're a real person, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to delete your comment like that, buddy. But it looks suspicious. I don't really like Laris. It's just too much like a seagull. So I need to make something more pompous. Pompous for him. Could do something that connects more closely to his culture, right? This Teutonic Germanian. I am right. There is a seagull in biology, scientific biology family name for seagulls. Okay. Hi, well, this kind of makes sense. So, again, we're kind of doing the kind of makeover of like Varun got, right? Farron was the original D&D lore name. Kind of makeovering Laris to give it a more better literature. So we got Laris. We'll say that's the D&D name. I can see Lars in there, right? Like just knocking off the U. Lars or Lawrence. Uh, that seems too modern, I think Lawrence does, or too English, right? Laurus, Latin for laurel, which I guess kind of uh, nobility, the laurel crown, right? Um, so think of Lawrence, something like that. I see Lars. I also think of Mars when we rhyme it. Easily go from Laurus to Maurus, right? Hmm. The Byzantine emperor names. Why not? Byzantine emperors. I'm not super well versed on Byzantine history. I'm not even gonna lie. Constantine. Ah, oh, such a good fucking name. Julian, Jovian, Valentinian, Valens, Gratian, Procopius, Theodosius, Arcadius, Theodosius II, Marcion. Okay, remember we have Mars. Marcion is a soldier and politician who became emperor after being wed to Augusta and sister Theodosius died again. Gangrene. How do you pronounce that? Gangrene? Tissue death. Oh my god. You know, this is really interesting because Marcion, I'm just like looking him on Wikipedia real quick. Marcion refers to many of the actions of Theodosius II Eastern Roman's relationship with the Huns under Attila in religious matters, ending all subsidiary payments and revoked all treaties with Attila. That's very interesting because, like, you could one could think that the Rohirrim kind of has that kind of Hunnic, you know, steppe nomadic culture. Just a parallel. I'm not saying it has to be, you know, actual thing, but that's actually pretty interesting. Marcion launched expeditions across the Danube and the Great Hungarian Plain, defeating the Huns in their own heartland. Oh, okay. Maybe we can have, let's keep Larsian. I don't know if I like that because it makes me think of larceny. Although that's pretty good actually, because he's kind of a, you know, imperialist, right? And isn't like larceny when you like larceny like theft, right? Larceny is a crime involving the unlawful taking or theft of the personal property of another person or business. Absolute cinema. Oh my gosh. All right. Larsian. It's pretty good. That's pretty good, actually. It gives us the idea of Marcian, an actual Byzantine emperor. Justinian already gives us that as well. But it also sounds Larsian, larceny, right? The stealing, so it kind of has that imperialism inside of his name. It's pretty good, and it goes back to that Laris kind of root. Larcian. I don't know if I like the way that looks though. You know, sometimes it's just about how it looks on the page. Sometimes, you know, my gut instinct is to do something so stupid. But maybe it's just because I like the way that letter looks. Just add an H in there. Oh, I just like the letter H. I mean, row here. It's in row here and everywhere. Varun, Wakua, Khan, Hagan, Wakan, Hagan, Jahannam, right? I clearly like the way the letter H looks. Hagal, right? More here with the H in it. Larsian. You know, what about? Now, this is gonna be sound crazy. 'Cause we've always used Pokemon as influences, right? And Laris is supposed to be like the big bad, sort of. Not maybe not as much in the actual setting literature, but he definitely is in the D&D. Arceus, right? Arceus, right? Deus, Larceus. It's like the god of theft. Hey, hey now. It's pretty good. Larceus. There's that two on the net. There's that two. Is that two? What do you call it? Is the Arceus like two on the nose, or is it not on the nose? But I mean, like, sometimes though, a lot of good art you steal from other people. In a, in a way, like all good art is kind of theft and drawing upon ideas. Like a lot of mythology is just rehashing and rebuilding upon mythic concepts previous generations, right? Using their gods as proxy and stuff like that. And I mean, Tolkien is no stranger to doing that. The White Tree of Gondor, right? The Numenor, and Alfarazon, Pharisian, right? Uh, the two trees, and the Silmarillion, Garden of Eden, right? He's no stranger to doing stealing in that kind of way and playing on concepts. So I don't think that's like too out of the way. And some literature, even a lot of people applaud, oh, Tolkien's this great linguist and great writer, and not saying he isn't. I mean, he's definitely one of, if not the greatest fantasy writer of all time, right? But um, he's not one to just shy away from saying, "Yep, this volcano's called Mount Doom." Yep, you know what? And same with Legend of Zelda, we got Death Mountain. okay. Legend. Everybody loves Legend of Zelda writing. There's nothing wrong with sometimes something being simple or uh, I think so. Larceus is kind of funny. I think again, it reminds me of larceny, just theft. He is an imperialist. He does steal land from people. I look up Larceus. It's like, did you not mean Arceus? Oh no, that's so funny. Lars. I don't know. It's a tough one. That can just be the working name for now. I don't have to be exact. I think Varun went through a bit more different phases before I landed on the actual spelling it out now. I do kind of like the H, only because it reminds me of the Lahazarine from Game of Thrones, but they're a goat shepherd, so the Dothraki attack. And honestly, Osmond's are or Rohirrim is kind of like the Dothraki too. But maybe that's part of it too. Um, Lahazarine. Let's just add it there, and the influences and the roots and influences. That also makes me think of Lazarus, right? I'm sure that's Lazarus. Larcius Lazarus. Oh shit, what the fuck did I name that dude? Oh my god, hold on. You wouldn't, I don't know if James had told you about some of our autistic, new age lore. Gets in here somewhere. World building. These kingdom games we're playing after we like reset the world, sort of. Is it in Avania? It wasn't technically in both. Lazarus Lauratia. I did name a character that. Let's throw it in there. As influence Lazarus Lauratia. That was one of my favorite. This dude's the goat right here. Exiled prince of Dravanis. Came to Avania to like basically stir shit up, reclaim his homeland. Basically want to be Lelouch as Lamperouge. And then he goes back home to Dravanis, gets killed by um some fucking faceless man assassin who steals his skin and basically like puts on his face and pretends to be him. So in a way, people think that he's like he dies or was killed in battle, but then he was reborn, like as Lazarus was reborn. Biblical lore. Cinema, absolute cinema. Um, Lauratia, Lauratian. Hmm. Oh, but I love Lazarus Lauratia. I don't want to make him bad. Will the real Lazarus Lauratia please stand up? That was the joke I used, the real Lazarus Lauratia. That's the plot line going forward when we not in world building on these D&D isms. It's like the real Lauratian household will one day rise to reclaim the home that was just like worn. You know, funny too because it also has the stealing, right? The stealing one's face, stealing one's theme in it. Lars, Lawrence, Laurentian, Loris, Lorenz, Lars, Mars, Maris, Marcian, Larcian, Larceny, Arceus, Larceus, Lazarine, Lazarus, Lauratia. Very tough. Very tough. Although maybe we put the Lauratian household in here too. Fuck it, why not? Who the hell were those other people that? Oh, hold on. Oh, fucking James was on some shit on this one. I'm not gonna lie. This game, he was fucking nuts. Power hungry. He was mad because my original character that I played was. Who did I play? Um, Not that one. It was Javanis. He got mad because I played some psycho character to start. He's the one who, yes, he was some bloodthirsty general. This game was a fucking shit show. I was General Harnix. Okay, never mind. And then I played Ventus the Assassin, the Faceless Man, right? So James played these twins who like I can't even say the word on Twitch because what they did to the previous Lauratian household, they killed and ard their um like some crazy shit. And so I was playing some like probably hold on, I don't the perpetrator, you know, general like flayed, I was trying to be like Roos, like a Bolton, basically. Some psycho general, executioner turned general. And he was like, we want in this game, we know the Lauratians are gonna come back, a la like the Golden Brigade or whatever, the Golden Company in Game of Thrones Westeros. We know they're gonna come back, so we have to prepare to fight them. And I'm like, nah, dog, I want the Laurentians to win. I I was trying to sow chaos and disorder everywhere. I'm like, I'm not a competent general. I'm a former executioner, questionable and criminal, like a literal criminal who's done hard acts of crime and evil. And you expect me to like want to team up with you to like I don't know create order. I'm like, Doc, I'm gonna sowing disorder and disobeying you all the time. Like we were trying to force some rebelling to slavery and like what? This is crazy. Now I wanted to burn the damn archives that Maddie wanted to uphold, and then the Lazarian Crusades came in. I was like, no, I don't want to. I want to let him destroy everything. Anyways, it was a whole mess. James was pretty mad, honestly, this game because I wasn't letting him centralize his authority. Um, that was awful. It was a very contentious world building game. Probably the most contentious one. Like, buddy, you already got your fill in Avania, buddy. You don't get Javanis. Anyways, um, hmm, I do like Laharzius. Hold on. Play with this spelling a little bit. Lahar, Lahazarine, Lazarus. This makes me think of hazardous. Laharaza, Lahazarine, Arazine, Arceus, Arcine. It's just too like outside of the scope of the. We have Viscardus, Carpathia. This kind of Ludwig Morgan, Morhier, Cecilia, maybe, or some derivative form of that. Arcine. That's too close to Lazarine. Just don't like the way Larceus looks. Arcean. Liar. Liar, CNA. Stand eye. Um, Arceal. Arceal, right? Arceal. Getting a Laurel, right? Or Arcel. It might be a fucking name in game. Is that Lancel? Lancelot. Add that in there. Add that in there as the roots. Lancelot. Lancel. Um, I think Larceus just has to do for now, I think we're getting too hung up on it, and it'll come to me later. But then again, a lot of Rohirrim, I think, is a exonym, and I think this will be imposed upon. Like, these are terms, not that the Yaren come up with, right? Or Germanic, and so I think it can make sense that the H is there. There's a lot of H's in Morhier, Rohirrim, and Varun, right? Larsen. See, that just looks better than just without the H. I really do. Just looks too simple and like almost common. So like some grand lord, who's like could be like that instead of actually Arceus, right? Because that has like Deus in it. Larceus, like IAS. Kind of like that. Kai, 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 Kai. Are we fucking with this? Guess I'm fucking with it for now. All right, so um, we'll move on. Let's figure out some other name. Again, this is just actually good though because I want to have names. Oh man, I should just use the Lauratian household, like the Lauratia house. I just should just fit it in there. Because honestly, the likelihood that we actually do this D&D stuff in the IRL is just very unlikely. But if I have the Laurentian household, I feel like that undercuts Lazarus, right? It's just too close. I felt like I cooked when I said the Lazarian Crusade. I call it the Lazarian Crusade. Here it is in Gervanus. The Lazarian Crusade. That'd be too confusing to have someone named Larsius and Lazarus, right? Say two on the nose, too. I don't know that answer. I think I would like them to be there. They're a, maybe not. Maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Man, Lazarus Laurentius, such a goat name, though. Dog, I cooked. Someone cooked here. Change my music. What should I listen to? I'm gonna listen to Oren and the Club of Gore. Is it like against Twitch TTOS to stream music? Is that a bad thing? Can I do that? Chris, do you know you're a Twitch user? Is it bad for me to have music playing in the background of my stream, or are they gonna like, I don't know, copyright, get me copyright striking or something? Does that even matter if I'm streaming for like max 3 people probably? I don't know. It doesn't. Definitely done it before, but maybe like doesn't it mute the video on your VODs or whatnot? I think it does. Not that I care exactly. I'm not like trying to go back and dig through my VODs, but hey, my viewers don't want them to suffer. Silence. I'll look it up on my phone. Let me look up against TTOS. I think it is. Playing copyright music without proper licensing and platform policies and copyright using popular stuff which you don't own the rights to result in your VODs being muted. That's what I thought. It's definitely had that before in the past. Copyright warnings are permanent channel bans? Dog. Set up separate audio tracks in OBS so your music isn't in your VODs. I don't know how the fuck do that. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. I'm not doing all that. That's a bit. Y'all gonna have to suffer in silence. I'm sorry. Way too complicated. Way too fucking complicated. All right. Just imagine the music going on, go into your Apple Music or Spotify and play it as you're listening to me at the same time. It's like you're there with me. Go to the damn artist. I'm gonna listen to Pacioli Blue, my favorite Borin album. That's another German term with an H in it. German just likes to have H's in it. Anyways, we're not gonna have the Laurentian household. I think I do kind of want. See, and Saran is supposed to be this kind of Teutonic order, noble houses, again, kind of being pitted against each other for blood, sport, or fun. So I think I do want a few noble houses, not just two. I feel it's a little, dearth, if you will. Now there's three demigods of Rohirrim, right? So there should be at least, at minimum, three for Saran, if not more, right? Maybe like five, I think would be fine, and maybe three for Ozma, right? How much is that? Numerology 11. But we're gonna knock out two of them from Rohirrim, and because it's gonna be one, so 9. I don't know. I didn't want, and then the Osman demigods, I want them to all be asleep. They're not gonna be like active forces. That's why there's like a shogunate feel, right? This kind of stewardic government feel that prays to these absent shrine gods who aren't just don't answer, right? So they interpret in their omens, man. They didn't have any kind of feel. Um, Back to Sauron. I think there should be 5 demigods at least. I think that makes sense to me. Um, I'm still laughing at Phaeobus Carpathia. It's such a good. Someone cooked here. Um, Carpathia is not even that Germanic either, though. It's kind of what do you call it? Romanian. But that kind of has that Holy Roman Empire feel to it, and the Byzantine, right? Kind of conglomerates all together. Teutonic, Germanic, Teutons or the Crusader aura, so that's kind of the Middle East, all the way to Germany. It kind of encompasses the Byzantine Empire as well as Romania and other Transylvanian kind of ideas. So, I think there needs to be a mountain range inside of um, I guess there kind of is. There's that one with the right here. There's this mountain range that kind of is inside of Saran, the big forest on the edge of it. The Carpathians can be right here where my mouse is at. Could work. That Transylvanian feel, you know. So then I think of Transylvania and Romania. I think of big forests and mountains. Good spot to put them. City over here. Maybe move it closer over here. The border. I kind of wanted to just in this middle pass, right? Basically, the way I made the cities was how I figured migration happened. So I figured migration to Saran came here, so they naturally landed probably in this bay. Should put it here. moved here probably and found this big lake and a river and lake, put a city near it. Downriver, boom, right? Going across, finds this mountain. It's not, this is lots of miles, but between the mountains, city here. The Osmonds came from this way, right? From the, can't see my mouse for some reason when it goes over here. It's weird. Osmonds came from this coast, from the east. So they're going to settle along the ports and then go inward. Obviously, not cutting all the trees, so just settling on this gigantic river province. And Rohirrim is probably isolated warband, so they don't really have big cities. But you know, if there's a colonial rulership, they're probably going to set up towns or cities or forts. These little dots started being these like grayish dots were like forts. Put them along the border because they protect against raiders. And you know, put it here in this mountain pass. Probably they landed right in the sea. This seems too impregnable. This mountain, canyon mountain, giving jaws, right? Giving like teeth. So they probably landed from the coast and then came in on this gap and then out into the desert. That's my idea of it, anyways. Geographically speaking. Anyways, so there should be 5 demigods, I think. I think that's a fair number. Maybe a demigod for every house, right? Because we're having a Trojan War kind of. But maybe not. Trying to think, so I'm not trying to make this like some I mean, I am making this in a way kind of an epic kind of plot, and so there has to be some level of depth and magnitude to the region, and cities and towns that put down aren't going to be the only like little settlements or whatnot. These are just kind of the big ones that I'm thinking about, and so Westeros obviously has the 7 great noble houses, right? Uh, Across the whole continent. And, you know, to be honest, it would make sense if this is the size of Westeros and then some a little bit of Essos over here, right? Volantis and all those other Bravos, this mercantile. Not trying to be like this is Bravos and this is I'm just saying, you know, structurally speaking, size wise that kind of makes sense. And um if that's the case, then there should be a good amount of houses. Especially if these are separate governments instead of one gigantic kingdom, because it's not, remember, it's like 3 kingdoms. Need I bring up the map again? So because it's like 3 kingdoms, need to have... And there's probably going to be other little states that kind of, you know, but it's mainly going to be like 3. Weren't just these 3 kingdoms during the 3 kingdoms era of other little... those are warlords who claimed power and fell, or who were, you know, subjugated. So it's not just going to start like this tripart, you know. It'll probably develop into this tripart structure, geographically speaking. Especially places like, you know, Ozma, which aren't ruled by demigods per se. You know, Sauron seems much more imperialist power block because it is ruled by demigods, right? Almost overtly. Rohirrim's been conquered and is being ruled by them, right? Osman, if they're kind of absent, are just gonna have kind of local clan lords who kind of maybe are prone to separate and not be in full agreements with one another or be such a unitary government. So, pretty good, honestly. I didn't. Um, it's 5 demigods, I think. I don't know if I want a house for every single one. Then it feels like if all the lords are kind of going up against each other, then all the demigods are also kind of competing against each other. And that's not necessarily true. But then again, again, then again. I'm dead. Um, yeah. Then again, can't even. Humana. It's giving again. It's giving Trojan War, right? Need to reread the Iliad. Hmm. Not to say that these are the only houses or families. Clearly, there'll be other names. Let's see. I'm just making my damn series so sprawling and so ridiculous, so ridiculously large. Maybe there doesn't need to be 5 houses. Then again, there's no houses in Rohirrim. Like, there's no houses here. There's just the divine rulers and then the fucking people. And Wakua, who will become the leader of the people, who then becomes a demigod by slaying Valrune with his own weapon, with the green dragon crescent, right? The Monkey King staff. So, uh, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. It's one tough cookie to crumble. I'll tell you what. Maybe I should just focus on Ozma. I'm hitting a roadblock with Sauron. It feels like no. Here's the problem with Ozma. No, I don't think. Obviously, I have a lot of Chinese history digested in me, right? Through the Three Kingdoms period. I don't think I'm as well versed on like the shogunates and I do know Nobunaga Oda, right? And some of those figures, but not as much knowledge there. So then my naming structure is not going to be as, I guess, inspired. I feel like that's why, the vibes are a lot more. I definitely have a vibe here. Funny, I thought Serrano was gonna be my hardest one. I clearly have a vibe and a way to name things in a common language that I'm semi-fluent in, right? I can find the roots like or Laharsius. I don't know if I like that anymore. It's just hard to pronounce. But I clearly have a sort of influence here and can find the root of Laris to be Lars, Lawrence, Mars, Marius, Marcian, Larcian, Larceny, Arceus, Lazarine, Lazarus, Laurasia, Larsal, Lancel, right? I can clearly find that because that's rooted in this Byzantine kind of language structure, Byzantine Roman language structure. Same with all this Germanic, Byzantine, pseudo-Mediterranean, right? Over here, a lot of German too. But this stuff is going to be a lot of Su and Wakan and Kagan and Wukong, right? Here, I'm not as inspired for. Maybe that means I should change the vibes, but that's not very true to the setting. The setting is very, very Japanese. I've never been good at building settings like that feel real, feel actually inspired by the culture. To do some research on that before I really dive into the nitty gritty, but I feel like Rohirrim's pretty good besides places. I guess I haven't named the Commandant or the Apt. Maybe I could do that. Let's go back to them since I have a pretty good grasp of the Commandant and the Apt, what they are, and the name conventions and influences, right? Okay, so we have Varun. We can also maybe try to think of previous D&D gods and or demigods for inspiration. So who's a notable demigod that we can think of in our lore? So we even though we had some games in row here and never really named the Commandant or the Abt. Or the Baumeister, they kind of just were titles that became their names, quote unquote. That's why it's so easy for me to slip Farron in here because obviously he's from a whole different campaign setting, but or country setting. But slipping him in here because he's one of my favorite D&D characters, archetype of all time. So we can fit him in there pretty easy. So I think we can do there was Atlas. I think that's too this returns back to that, Terranianness. I don't want to do that. And a lot of Sam's demigods too had he stole names for like Zyra and all them, so I don't think we're gonna do them. Icarus and I guess Justinian he did too, but it's just actually based on a real person instead of just a character from something. So we can do let's break out the Middle Earth map. This Varun has rune in it, right? So let's see if we can find any structure here that we like linguistically. Rune, okay. Rovanian, right? Rohan, Rohirrim, Rovanian. Iron Hills, Grey Mountains, Erebor. Okay, what's over here in Rune? Wish Nurnin. Nurn makes me think of Elder Scrolls Nurn. Condor. Khand. Oh, Harad. Haradwath. Waith. Can pronounce that. East of the. I can't even pronounce it. Belfalos. I think we're not gonna really Gorgorod. Angmar we can probably do. Angmar is just loosely associated with. Okay. Um. Wow, I've got 2 viewers now. Holy moly, moving up in the world. Hello, other person. I don't know, clue who you are, but greetings. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to my first stream in years. I'm D&D world building a setting. There's my map over here, loosely, and right now I'm focusing on Rohirrim, which is this Westerland section. Oh, he left. Well, goodbye. He didn't like what I had to say. I'm sorry, but damn, bro, cold. Just said hi and he left. Well, damn. Dad, already this level of autism. Okay, so I think we need a who already has that witch king in him, so shouldn't do Angmar or anything like that, or have that root in there. So I'm just trying to think of old demigods that I quite enjoyed. Joan, she was a good one. Oh, she was a great one. Oh, I forgot about Joan. Oh my god. Maybe she'll be a demigod. Let's add her in here. Demigod. Joan. Joanne. Yanni. I'll put maybe. LOL. Okay, and then the roots for that obviously go back to Yanni. Yan, which is just Gianni, right? Right, Giannis. John. Or Joan. And then this reminds us of the Joan of Arc as well. Alright. Anyways. Gianni, because I named her originally Gianni in my old Han lore, if you remember, Chris, and because that was a city name in the Wu Empire. That's literally where I got it from. Jianan, Jonan, on, or Jonan. This reminds me of Conan. Lol. Linguistically speaking. Maybe something. Alright, let's go back. The Commandant. The apt. So I know the Commandant rules at Mount Mortel. But again, he's a outsider, so he's gonna still probably have that how you say Serenian name convention. Mythic parallels as well. We want mythic parallels. Um or historical parallels, Justinian isn't mythological, but he's one of the most famous rulers in all Byzantine empires we talked about, so stand out as a mythic figure as opposed to just some random name. So we can do what was the dumb monkey's demigod's name? Oh, we can't have the monkey because we already have a Monkey King figure. Fuck me. Um, and and here's my idea of race fantasy races and everything. I know we had like a plethora of fantasy races in our D&D world, and I think we're gonna probably narrow it down to like these Yara and Uruks, right? Men who live in Saran and elven kind, Ozma, but maybe people who have magic, because we're also gonna tone down a lot of the magic in the setting, at least for the common mage or common practitioner magic, a lot less of them, right? And so I think those type of people, magic probably does something to you to where it changes your form to be more creaturely or more animalistic, or in some way it changes you from the shape of your original kind. So, for instance, that's why Varun, like, we don't have bird people. He just became like a bird. As he's vain and contemptuous and self-aggrandizing, like, kind of how peacocks are. They're, I wouldn't say they're vain, but they're definitely aggrandizers and showy or ostentatious, right? Their big plumage, the males who are all the eyeballs, right? Remember Farron's cape had a shit ton of eyes on it. Intentional, but kind of rhymes with the idea of a peacock. Oh, what if we have? Mm, I'm blanking it. I'm blanking right now. What is another demigod? Can't use the Han ones, the Ohala ones. You can definitely think about the Atlas, Zyra, Icarus. A lot of just standard. Aladdin. Think of Aladdin. Aladdin is from Ozma. I don't really want to separate him from that if he's going to be reused. Look at the Nazkandari ones. What were names? I can just look. I'm retarded. Um, Too much to find. iGames? No. My current campaign that we're not playing currently. So we are on a little break. The fuck? Am I starred? Old Nazkandar. Here we go. Eventually, I'll have a write up like this for for new Rohirrim and a new Ozma and new um Traversine. Here we go. Valerius. Valerius would be great to add. Oh fuck. Valerius is great because I've actually reused a lot of his ideas in my current D&D game. So, hey Chris, you gotta hush hush about this. You can't be telling James no secrets, okay? Give you a secret, alright? Ready for a secret? Put a put something in chat if you're ready for a secret. Tell you a secret about my current D&D campaign that I haven't been playing in a long time, but okay, we are definitely putting the demigod Valerius here, though. Valerius. This motherfucker belongs here. Fuck yeah. We got. Oh my God, I know it's supposed to be administrator, but I always think of Adam when I see it because Adam is my old Hala game. Corvus Regulus. Good, wouldn't he? He would be good, wouldn't he? Hell, he would be good, wouldn't he? Corvus Regulus. Oh my God. He would be a good addition to the cast, wouldn't he? Corvus Crows. Ulysses fits that Roman name structure as well. I think we would need to change it. Him and Valerius, I think they're just good as is, right? No secrets for you then, buddy. Took too long. I can't say them because as you know, Maddie will be digging through my VODs for teasers. You can't, you never trust her. She's suspicious. Corvus Regulus. Mmm. Mmm. See, Justinian actually, I think, was from Nascondare originally too, so it makes sense why his name would fit in there. Calpurnia, I don't like that. Aphris. I'm not gonna use that, am I gone? Camilla Saturnine. I don't like that. It should be Saturnine. Mania. Camilla. Valerius is great. Valerius is really good. Corvus Regulus will be such a good goat addition. He was such a shitter. He was such a bitch ass fucking villain. Damn my god, Corvus Regulus. It's too Roman. Is this too far away from the original Teutonic Germanic state? Or is this probably just gonna be other root? You know, could be. Could just be the root, like Laris is the root. Corvus Regulus is the D. Valerius. Valerius is so good though. The Hand of Valerius. The D&D name for him. So, obviously this makes me think of Valyria, right? And the Valyrian Targaryen, right? Spell Valyrian. Maybe this is a reason to Valyria. It's Valyria, my bad. It's Valyria. I'm retarded. This is a reason to shy away from Valerius. Even though he's so good as a concept in my D&D Nascondare world building. Does kind of brush up against Valyria, which is very Valyrians, right? Valyrian steel. Too explicitly. And it already have a lot of Tolkien, brushes with Tolkien. Like a lot of brushes with Tolkien. So maybe it's not so bad, right? But that's why Valyria. That's why. What am I doing? I'm spelling it wrong. Area or whatever. Head in. We Germanicize that. Roman patrician family name. Just on behind the name, low key. Low key goated. Alright, so Belarusian, Bulgarian, French, Georgian, Italian, Latvian, Polish. There's no Germanic because I guess it doesn't. German is not a. I thought maybe it would eventually blur with some. Some Germanic, only because Proto, PIE languages, Proto-Indo-European. There's Valerie or Valeska. I don't know if I quite like that. It's too modern now. Maybe we'll home back on Valerius being a name of someone. Um, but what if we go with but he's such a good figure in my D&D campaigns. Fuck. Sorry, Valerius, you gotta go. I'm so sorry, buddy. Alright. Corvus Regulus. Like, like that meme where it's like, go on, get out, scram. Not you, you stay. It's like the clown, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs. We could do ball. Makes me think, well, we go back to Valerius, right? Valerius. It's obviously indicative of Valeria or Valerian. But also Valhalla, which is more Germanic. It's Norse, but it's closer to Germanic. Or will be. Norse is closer to phonetically speaking and language structure wise. German. Someone put that clip of that clip of Ash Patel where he's like, "Rest easy, my rest." I feel I'm awful for referencing that, but it's so funny I can't help it. Um, or like Charlie Kirk after he got killed, and he's like, "Rest easy, my brother. I will see each other in Valhalla." No, I don't think you will. Not only did he not believe in Valhalla, I don't think you do either. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Not even bro. They're just retards. Walhalla is in German. Valhalla is spelled Walhalla. Ding. Like, Walerius. I can't. I'm not doing that. Two V's though, like like which? Valeria. Hey, the Vavitch, right? Vavaleria. No, that's too silly. I don't think Valerius is gonna make the cut. Oh, okay, well, let's just think of other demigods. Corvus Regulus is pretty good, but again, this is another one where it's gonna be kind of hard to tie back to the structure. No, because it doesn't always have to be Germanic. Tonic, right? Kind of um Byzantine nature in it. Laris, or what the fuck we're gonna call him, because I do not like Laharsius right now. Lahar. Oh man. If we had Valerius in it, might as well Laharsius. To keep the same IUS. So we're having a lot of trouble right now, but be revealed in time. So let's just try to do Corvus Regulus for now while we think. Okay, Corvus is a crow. What is a crow? What is crow in German? Pronounce crow in German? Ra. Pronounce that. It's actually pretty good. I actually like that. Kriye is how you pronounce it. Kriye. Weird. Okay, so Corvus Regulus is the root. We can think of crows, right? And because Corvus or Corvid is like Corvus crow. Corvid is a crow, and in German, crow is I can't even crow or Kriye is how you pronounce it apparently. Kriye. That made me think I could do like Kravis. Makes me think of Craven. Raven, right? Or even Krampus. Right? Which is interesting because Krampus, all the Rohirrim stuff seems Krampus coded. I don't know if perfect, but something to be said there. And I guess nothing has to be, all set in stone, but or like 1-to-1 match. Everything doesn't have to fit perfectly. I think is maybe what my problem is. Kravis. Kravis sounds like crevice. So the reason why we do this, to be honest, is because now we can sort of see what's this person going to be like. Corvus Regulus, just from his name etymology. Bro, Corvid, Craven, a Craven, Raven, Cowardly, Krampus, Trickster, even. Makes sense. He is kind of a trickstery kind of fuck motherfucker. Crevice. Let's maybe give us the idea of where he's at. in a hole. No, but you see, this kind of helps us much with Alrune, right? When like he's a dragon of the Western Sea, and kind of gives us the idea of his influences, story role, right? We know he's going to be like Alguang, who the Monkey King steals. The characters like Monkey King. Waku is like the Monkey King. Waku Kong, right? So, um, crevice, Kravitz, uh, Lenny Kravitz, Zoe Kravitz. That is a name. What is the Kravitz name meaning? Oh, is an Eastern Ashkenazic Jewish name. Derives from the Eastern Slavic word kravitz, meaning tailor, which ultimately stems from the Old Slavic kravati, meaning to cut, as in cutting fabric to sew a garment. That's so weird. Such a weird linguistic link, no? Because it's spelled kravets, being Slavic. Slavic is pretty close to Germanic languages. Why is it so close to? I mean, I guess that is not pronounced Krahe, or what you would think it. Look of it. What was it pronounced again? I don't even remember. Kriye. Kriye Krava. The Kree instead of Kra, right? Taylor. That's funny because this guy is so fucking fashionable too. Also in this. So let's. He's ostentatious as well. Harvest. So maybe we can do. I do like Kravos. An H. Everything's better when you add an H next to it. Next thing we know, we're gonna add a Justinian. I can't. I'm dead. The inside joke is getting too much. Bravos. Bravos. Craves. It's closer to Craven or Raven, right? Graves or Graves. Add that in there. Krampus. Kravis. Crevice. Kravis Graves. Raven. I already wrote that down. A grave raven, right? Graven. Is Graven a word with a G? Past participle of the grave. We're going to use the adjective to describe something deeply etched or okay. Okay. Correct. Bravos. Graven. Graves. Why did I write that? I didn't mean to do that. Corvus. I like having a K, I think, instead of the C. Corvin. Regulus. Let's figure out Regulus as well, because that's the second part. Orvin's pretty good. Regulus, on the other hand, I think it's gonna be as easily uh, slurred into, something a bit more poetic. Cognomen meaning prince or little king, diminutive Latin rex, king. Okay. Don't have many king because it's not a lot romance. Family tree, alright. Rain. Darian Czech. Slovak Regina. Danish. English. English is very close to German actually. Regina, Ina, Gina. Okay. French, German, Regine. I did think that was gonna be Regina. Is there a male or a masculine form for it? No. No. It's like Regina is a lot of feminine. Reyes. A lot of feminine names that associate with Regulus. Try to listen to this Ballrin album. Let's listen to some Barn Owl. The Barn Owl, they're pretty good. Lost in the Glare, it's a pretty good album. Pro here in core. No, when I think Regulus, we can think of regime or regime. Regiment. Okay. Trying to truncate. Argument. Krieg is German, right? Like Blitzkrieg. War, conflict. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Getting somewhere. Getting somewhere. Getting somewhere. I need to write this in parentheses, how this is pronounced. Krieg. Krivus. Sounds like Grievous. I like that Krivus. I immediately thought Krivus Corgulus. Okay. I don't know why. Corgulus. Because I think I was putting Corregulus, right? Corgulus. And that could just be the truncated form of Corvus Regulus. It's just Corgulus, right? But I do like Crevus Corgulus. It kind of has a good alliteration to it. Crivus corgulis.
Yeah, yo, hold up. Hold on. Hold on. Hold the fucking phone, y'all. Does that not sound pretty good? Crivus corgulis. Makes me think corgi too. Corgulus.
Is corgal even like a the fuck is this? Surname roots Korg in Slavic word for mound or hill. Okay. Crevis Corgi. Should it be the whole thing? What do you think? Cri Crivus Corgulus. Or just Corgulus. We're gonna put Crivus Corgulus here. Crivus Corgulus for now. It's pretty good. That's pretty good, I think. I really do think that. My cat is meowing. I don't know if you hear him. I'm sorry. Bro, he said it's time for bed. It is not time for bed, Pippin. Maybe I should show him off to Twitch. Do you think you'd like to see the kitty? Is it Pippin? Do you want to say hello to Twitch chat? Come here. Say hello for the VOD. Hi. A good friend. Hey, baby. Oh. Rivus Corgulus. Crivus. Grievous. Or grieve. Or even grief. Or like raven. Grave. Raven. General Grievous. Did I cook? Did I cook or no? I don't know. I can't tell if someone cooked here or not at that. Morgulus. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Morgulus is like the Valar Morgulus, right? All men die or whatnot. Corgulus has that kind of M because a K sideways is M. Is that true? Am I just. I don't know why I said that. That was stupid. Don't listen to me on that. Oh no. Um, I don't know. I feel like someone cooked here. Oh. 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 Carivus Corgulus. It's so good. I like it. I don't know why. Something about it just it's giving Lazarus Lauratia, you know. Definitely is more German than the other ones, but I kind of like it. Not all demigods have to be a one-word name. Sometimes they can be a little extra. Makes me want to change Laharsius. This one's still up for debate, but he will definitely be a root. He will definitely be. He will be there no matter what. All right, Valerius. Sorry, we've got Crivus. Crivus Valerius is too close. Coriolis. Just sorry, Valerius, you're not making the cut, buddy. Okay. Um, who else is there? So the Ozyman demigods like Aphris. I kind of like Aphris, only in that she can be. If she's Aphris, this reminds me of Apharis or Aphrodite, right? Or Paris. Paris, a Paris, a Paris, a Paris, Parisian, Parisian, Alpharazon. Okay, this might be a demigod, but you know, maybe they aren't from Saran. Something to think about. Um, Trying to fix something. Whoa. Why didn't try doing this earlier? Anyways, I'll try to fix it up later, but Aphris, Apharis, Aphrodite, a Paris, Parisian, Alphorisian, Pharazon, Corazon, right? Corazon. Think of Aphrodite, I think Corazon. Think that's how you pronounce it. How you type it? Just heart in Spanish. Yeah. Corazon, sorry. Uh, Acorazon. Acor. Acarazon. It's pretty good, actually. Ar Arzon. Caro, I think. Icaro, right? Caros. Icar. Back to Arceus, sorry. Icarus Arceus. Icarazon. Anyways, I don't know. Did my music stop? Oh, it's because I plugged into my stream on my phone for a second. I didn't realize I could test my audio there. Um, I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking now. You off to the side again, but you know, having demigods who are not from either or kind of sucks. Aren't putting you in Oz right now. I was putting you in Saran, sorry. 3 viewers, holy moly. Oh wait, I might be one of them. I might be one of them. Well, hello, new viewers. If you're there, I'm currently listening to some Barn Owl and world building, and welcome along. Feel free to say hi. I'm using entomology and names and whatnot to kind of name some places, some setting, and people that uh, some settings that I don't really have a concrete grasp on entirely just yet. So I just had a brain breakthrough with Crivus Corgulus. I think I kind of cooked from the root Corvus Regulus, a D&D demigod of our D&D world. Corvus, Corvid, Crow, Cravis, Craven, Raven, Krampus, Cravis, Crevice, Raven, Raven, Grave, Kravitz, Slavic to cut or tailor, Raves, Corvin, Regulus, Regine, Regime, Regiment, Krieg, as in Blitzkrieg, Krieg, Grievous, Grievous, so Crivus, Corulus, because I truncated Corvus and Regulus to one word. Corregulus, correct, Corulus, right? Uh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Um, I honestly do not know. Would the viewers in the chat be interested? I'm not gonna do it tonight, but do y'all want to see me play Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, sometime, or even Pokemon? Because I do have those on my computer. I could do that sometime. Just asking the fine fellows in the chat. All right, but I just, we just did Crivus Corgulus, a Corazon, a Carazon. We got from the root Aphris, which was a D&D figure. Aphares, Aphrodite, Paris, a Paris Parisian, Parisian, Alpharazon, Corazon, a Carazon. I kind of liked the way that sounded, so I think we're gonna keep that. I said I was gonna have 5 demigods in Saran. So we've already. I don't like Joan. We're just gonna get rid of her. Sorry, Joan. You're gonna be like not a demigod character. We want noble houses, but we're gonna have trouble naming them. This one I'm still stuck on. If anyone in the chat can think of something magical that comes from these roots, by all means, go fucking nuts. But um, I'm open to suggestions always. I will say that. My other 2 viewers left. This is a sad face moment. Wow. Fucking volatile Twitch streams is so sad. They didn't like my wordplay. Sorry, I don't know if I'm like, don't know if I'm allowed a middle finger on Twitch. I'm sorry. Oh no, I don't. Oh no, I'm gonna get banned. I honestly think I'm done for tonight. I think I've done a lot. I don't know. Definitely did a lot of work that I didn't have already done. I think Krivist and Akara's on. Akara's on. Pretty good. Hold on. Hold on. Before we go, let me cook. So we were thinking of Larcion, right? Or Lazarus. Carazon has that Z in it. Lacar? Lacarazon. What do we think? I actually think that might be it. And the reason why I think so, because it makes me think of, so let me attach all these other roots here to like fit it all together into La Corazon, right? So okay, we get that, Aphris, Apharis, Aphrodite, a Paris. It's supposed to be originally Saran was supposed to be French. A Paris Parisian. Parisian is a explicit D&D term we use that's sort of loosely associated to the Pharisees, which I'm sure Farazone comes from Tolkien. You're not sly. Corazon, which is heart, right? A Carazon. Lacar. A Carazon. A Carazan or Zon? La Carazon? Maybe. Maybe because it reminds me of uh, Corazon, which is a demon in the Enochian, right? Enochian demon. Okay, okay, okay. Someone is cooking here. La Corazon represents, and Corazon represents the ultimate obstacle to enlightenment. So, it's Crowley's Thelema. So, sticking with that, it means we need two more demigods of Saran. Two more demigods of Rohirrim, and Ozma. It's gonna be so hard to say Rohirrim instead of Rohirrim. We've called Rohirrim for years, for like 4 fucking years, like more than 4 fucking years, since like 7 years. Hard to say Rohirrim. How this is like Sarain instead of Saran. Shit, pronunciations. I mean, I don't know. It's complicated. But maybe we'll work on another day. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll play Pokemon sometime. Maybe I'll play Zelda on here sometime. But um, that's a pretty good That's good. No, fuck, I cooked La Corazon. It also makes me think of like Coron, like La the Corazon, right? La is Spanish, the feminine. Or El Corazon, like El he, right? Right? Oh shit. El Corazon. Because I want to, he's masculine. I don't be La Corazon. Even though it's close to the Laris, right? El Corazon. El Corazon. El Corazon. Sounds like the heart. El Corazon. Pretty good too. I mean, fuck. Like Charon as well, right? Like Karen. do you think? Chat? Thinking. Chat user Corsopotamus. Smiley face. Chris, please help. I think it's so close to Corazon in a good way. Or that people will pronounce it Charazon, right? Or okay, but Charazon. Loki's giving Charizard, right? And Laris was always supposed to be a red dragon. Okay, 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 okay. Cinema or not? I don't know. It's better than the Arceus, right? Charizard. El Charizon. Charizon. Chorizo. Don't know. But we're at a 3 hour mark on my stream. I think I'm gonna call it quits. And because this was a lot. And, honestly, this really helped. El Carazon. Makes it more ambiguous, I think. El Charazon. Carazon. This is probably better. This was pronounced El Carazon. Ooh, you know why? Hold on, before we go. Because, okay, it's giving Charizard, Loki, but also Melkor, right? Is it Melkor pronounced or spelled like that, or is that am I thinking of Melchior, which is the one of the three magi? Oh, Melkor of Morgoth is not like that, but it's kind of or Morgoth of yeah, Melkor is Morgoth's name. Sorry, buried in there a little bit. Elcar, right? Melkor. Not sure if that's more seeable without the with or without the H. Charizard definitely is with an H. That's actually makes me lean to put it there. Melchior is a one of the biblical mad guy, along with Balthazar and Casper. Okay, let's put the CH in there for now. We'll keep it there. Well, you know me, I love my H's. Privis Corey. I can't do that. I'm sorry. Okay, it's been 3 hours and 1 minute exactly, so I need to go now. I don't have a stream ender. I'm just gonna zip and zoot on out of here. So thank you for joining and just chatting. Um, maybe I'll do this again. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Just felt like I needed to pass the time, and sometimes talking it out helps me. So thanks for those for dropping by.